says we're live. Hi. Okay, I am real excited to go live and share this with you. It's been a little while since I have talked about our story or any of that kind of stuff, and I have a lot of new friends on here. So I just wanted to kind of introduce myself, tell y'all a little bit of piece about us. Excuse me. Hi, Julie. So if you're hopping on, you want to say, hey girl, hey, down in the comments, go for it, and I will say hi back. But yeah, I wanted to do a hop on, just do a short little video. I have notes because I am beyond ADD, like squirrel. So I do have notes. But it's just been a really busy month. So I know I have talked to a lot of you guys about making just a little bit of extra money online. And I wanted to hop on and tell you that if you've been watching me, that today is today, and I'm going to tell you why. So if you've been watching me and you're thinking, man, I should sign up with this crazy chick, like I should make a little bit of extra money. And guys, I don't care if you are wanting to make like extra shopping money, if you're a homeschool mom and you're just wanting to buy a little bit fancier curriculum, because let's be real, homeschooling is not cheap, especially some of these curriculums. I don't care if you're a dad watching and you're just wanting a little bit more time with your kids. That's why my husband works the business. There's so many different reasons. But you've been watching me. You're like, she's been doing this for 4 years. She's successful. Her entire team is successful. Like, I just need to do this. So the reason that I say today is today. There's no like magic, spammy, I only have this many spots left that I'm going to tell you. But our company, our CEO, announced that they are doing leadership bonuses again. And you have 3 full months to earn those leadership bonuses. Hi, Robin. Kim, I'm going to give you a shout out because I am so stinking proud of you with how amazing that you're doing with this. And you just set yourself up for another leadership bonus. So I'm pretty excited about that. So shout out to Kim, guys. Give Kim some hearts in the comments. So our CEO announced that these leadership bonuses were going to be extended through the summer. I didn't come on here and talk about this because I wanted confirmation they were extended. Usually they're not. So I just wanted to make sure before I said it. So the reason today's the day is if you sign up today, today's July 8th. July doesn't count as one of your 3 months because it's not a full month. So you actually get July, like the next, 3 weeks basically of July as a grace period. So it's like a free 3 weeks to learn the systems and learn the training and then run for the bonuses for the entire next 3 months. So if you've been watching me, we've talked and you've just been sitting on it for whatever, today is the day, guys. Today's the day. But I wanted to tell you a little bit about this, and I am only going to coach 5 people for the rest of this month to do it. And again, there's no magic, like I have this many spots left. The company's not letting me sign up anymore. But we've had a crazy busy month. And it's only 8 days in, guys. We're going to have a crazy month. Everything that basically was in May that got canceled has been rescheduled. So now we're doing all the stuff we normally do in July. Plus we have graduations and birthday parties and, welcome picnics for the church. And we just have like all the things that we're doing. So Brett and I are pretty particular with who we work with. So we haven't opened up 5 spots. And again, that's not some magic, like the company won't let us sign more than that. That's just the amount of people we can realistically take on and actually coach. Because we want to see you make money. We want to see you succeed with this. It's not fair to sign up 25 people and then not be able to actually give them coaching. So let me make sure. Yeah, as far as the amount that the leadership bonus is, you can message me. I don't say that on a live video. Or on Facebook in general or Instagram, wherever you're watching. I'm very careful not to make any kind of income claims because you 100% get out of this what you put into it. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But basically what the process would be is if I've already talked to you and I've already interviewed you, like you're good to go. But if you're someone and you're watching this for the first time, Jennifer, hi. Guys, Jennifer's another one I'm going to give a huge shout out to because you are doing so good. She's brand new in this and she's just running. She has an awesome work ethic. So if you're new and you're watching this and you're like, I really could use some extra money, I really could use some extra time, Like, how do you monetize your social media? Basically, the process is you're gonna reach out to me. I'm gonna send you a short video. You're gonna watch it. If you like what you see, then the ball's gonna kind of be in my court, and I'm gonna just give you a short little interview and make sure that you would vibe well with this, and that I think you would actually make money with this. Because I have probably, I would say 20 to 30 people apply every week, and usually out of those 20 or 30, I accept one, maybe two. But, and there's, like, I don't prejudge whatsoever. But the things that I'm looking for is that, like, things that need to stand out, basically, to me, is that you are coachable, you've got a really big work ethic, and that either you are good with your time, like you know how to schedule your time and manage your time, or you're open to learning that. Because that's something that we teach. But again, if you're not open to learning it, doesn't matter if we teach it. So I'm not prejudging. I don't care if you work full time. I don't care if you're a full-time student. I don't care if you're a full-time mom. I don't care if you work full time and you're wanting to be a full-time mom. Like, you know, there's no specific person I'm looking for, but I'm looking for certain characteristics. And again, just because we are so busy, like the business doesn't make up consume our life, and we do that on purpose. When we do put time into the business and time into people, it has to be people that we really believe in. And it's just, there's no nicer way to say that. So yeah, if you're interested, first step is reaching out. I am going to go ahead and put the income disclosure down there in the comments when we're done, only because I do believe in being fully transparent. So if you add up all the little numbers in the income disclosure statement, you'll see 95% of people that start this actually make money. Now, how much you make is 100% determined on how much you actually want to work. And let's see. Yeah, so the biggest key, how do you make sure you're successful? The biggest key is you need to start with somebody who understands marketing and who's going to teach you marketing. So just to back up a little bit, when I was looking for some work from home jobs, drop me a 1 in the comments if you've ever Googled how to work from home, whether it's recently or not recently. When I had my daughter, and like I said, I've been doing this for like 4.5 years, so I'm talking way back when, because my daughter's almost 6. When I had her, I really wanted to work from home, so I Googled how to work from home. And there were so many things that were very scammy, and I'm not talking about like I was scared of them because they looked like you had to actually work. I'm talking about the ads that were like, turn $50 into $50,000 in 30 days. I was like, all you have to do is PayPal me. I'm like, I feel like that's definitely not legit. But I can tell you, oh my gosh, I'm almost embarrassed to even admit this, but have you guys ever filled out surveys for money or tried to? Like, I did that, and I can tell you I got paid about 50 cents an hour. But what really made me mad is so many times I'd fill out a survey, and at the very end, I would get a little message saying, I'm sorry, you're not what we're looking for this. Thanks for your time. And I wouldn't get paid at all. I spent 10, 15 minutes. Yes, ma'am?
If the adults are out, can I pet the dog?
If the adults are out, you can pet the dog. Do you want to say hi?
Yes.
Y'all, she's in her pajamas. Don't judge.
Hi.
We're about to get ready for church, so I told her, hi. I told her, all right, go play. I told her she could just stay in her pajamas after her bath. That way she could play outside, not run clothes, and then we put clothes back on. So, don't judge, y'all. Don't judge. But, so anyways, I would fill out surveys, and I would be making no money. And again, it wasn't, like, the ones I actually got paid for, it's not bad. They do pay you. It's the fact that so many of them, you get that stupid little message at the end, like, oh, sorry, thanks for your time, but really not thanks for your time, because we're not going to pay you. So, anyways, I started watching a person, and actually, like, I knew they were real. I knew they were actually making money, because one, their whole page was not about business. Like, they were providing value and providing content outside of the products they were marketing. And then two, they said that they could teach me how to make money without relying on my friends and family. And that was a big thing to me. I'd done stuff like this before, never made any money. 50 cents for a 20-minute interview. Yep. Or not interview, survey. I've done that. Yes, I've done that. And hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, y'all. So make sure you're joining someone who knows how to do marketing. So if you are watching someone and they're posting pictures of product all over their wall, that is not the person you want to join with. And y'all, if you're on my team and you're doing that, like, I'm not bad mouthing you, I promise, but this is why I train you the way that I train you. You want to make sure you're implementing all the marketing strategies that I'm teaching you. I've spent a lot of money, a lot of time learning how to do online marketing, learning how to monetize my social media without being spammy. So, 1000%, like, you need to find someone who knows how to do marketing. And by the way, don't take my word for it. When you're done with this video, not right now, don't leave, but when the video's done, go to my page and you can see exactly what I post. Everything is public, so nothing, like, you don't have to be my friend. I'm not trying to get you to follow me. But you can follow, or not follow, you can just creep. And you can see that this business doesn't consume my life, it doesn't consume my news feed, like, it shouldn't consume your life. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so go over there, look at my page when we're all done here. Like, I'm not trying to turn you into a walking billboard. I feel like anytime anyone joins something like this, that's kind of the fear, and that's the reality. I would say 95% of the time. Now, I know outside of our company, it's about 99.9% of the time that you join and you turn into a walking freaking billboard. I've seen it happen. I had a lady at my church one time, she joined, like, trying to sell some kind of shampoo, and all of a sudden, her whole timeline was filled with pictures of shampoo. I was like, I'm not going to unfriend you because that's kind of rude, but I'm definitely hiding your crap because nobody wants to see this. So, realize when you join this, it's not as simple as I'm just going to post pictures of product and people are going to come to me. Your grandma is only going to buy so many things from you by you posting pictures on Facebook, okay? So, what we do is we utilize the free ad system on Facebook. Now, other companies have tried to do this, and I've seen them, and they have failed miserably. But our company has the monopoly on this. So that's one reason we're the leading company in the industry right now when it comes to getting customers. Now, there's plenty of companies that all they do is recruit, and they get paid to sign up people to promote their products, where we get paid more heavily on actual product sales by using these free ads. So, again, there's a little bit of other facts behind there that I'm not going to portray as much. So speaking of this system, I wrote it down somewhere. Okay, speaking of the system, so I taught this to my husband a couple of months ago. And same thing, his name's Brett Johnson. You can just go to my page and you can, you'll see his posts. You can go to his page. Same thing, you'll see he's not a walking billboard because I taught him how to do this. So I'm going to tell you a short little story and I'm going to be done because I don't want to take up all of your time. We all have stuff to do today. I've got to get off here and clean my house. I've been doing this for 4.5 years. Now, when I started doing this, I did work full-time. So I'm not someone coming to you telling you, I had no income and, oh, look, I've been doing this for 4.5 years. I think that's an easy thing to say. When you can show that you had a full-time income before and now you're doing this full-time, it's a little bit more credible. And again, no shade to stay-at-home moms that start this. Everyone has their own story. And if it's legit, I'm good with that. But I saw someone yesterday talking about, oh, I've been doing this full-time for 2.5 years. Yes, but you left out the part that you didn't have a job before this. So again, I'm all about integrity and transparency when it comes to this business and the industry as a whole. So when I see people, our company or other companies, this happened to me in another company, that are trying to be manipulative to get more people to join them, I will call you out because we don't do that. Be honest about your story. And actually, speaking of honest about our story, when we started this, we didn't start this because we were dead broke and couldn't pay our bills and our house is going to be foreclosed on. Now, someone has that story, I'm sure. I've heard several people that have stories similar. But I don't have a sad story of telling you how I went from being homeless to this business saved my life, or being suicidal and this business saved my life. That's not my story, so I'm not going to claim it as my story. For me, I was working full-time. I loved my job. I made decent money. We lived well below our means as in we didn't have a whole lot of extra money, or not within, not below. We lived within our means. We didn't have a whole lot of extra money. Our house wasn't brand new. We lived in a basement apartment, okay? Not a very nice apartment, but again, we were within our means. We drove a nice car, but that's because my husband got it before we got married and probably bought a nicer car than he should have. It worked out, but that's a whole other story. So we didn't have credit card debt we had to pay off, and like we weren't flashy when the money started coming in from this business. We had nothing to be flashy about. Like, you know, I wasn't going online talking about how I was paying off $20,000 of credit debt because we were already good with our money. I wasn't going online talking about this nice new, you know, Mercedes that we bought because we already had a car and we weren't interested in getting into debt just to be flashy. What I did do is I worked my butt off for about a year to replace my income, and I started doing this full time and took my daughter out of daycare. Now that's what I did, but again, that's not near as flashy as like, oh, look at this super nice car that I just bought. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, be real, y'all. Just be real. Like, if you're another network marketer and you're watching this, stop lying to your people. Just be real. Okay. So, my husband, we're bringing this all. So, I did this for 4.5 years. He's always been supportive behind the scenes. He's not a social media person. He never wanted to be a social media person. He is... Babe, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. He is technologically dumb. Like, no. I taught him how to forward a voice message 2 days ago, I think. So, just to give you a backstory there. But what he would do is he did use the products. He loved several of our products. So, he would randomly make them at work, like with his lunch if they were drinks and stuff, because they're better if you make them fresh. He would funnel people to me that way, like, oh, so-and-so wants info on this, you know, here's his Facebook info. I would give him the info, send him to my website. So he worked, and he did behind-the-scenes stuff as far as, like, if I needed to get on a Zoom call, he would, you know, spend extra time with our daughter, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to say he didn't do anything, because definitely, up until he started working the business, he worked the business. It just, he wasn't the face of the business, maybe is the best way to put it. So, then enter 2020. Y'all, drop me a 2 if 2020 has been a freaking crazy, crazy, crazy year for you. Like, stuff happening that you never thought would happen. So I'm just going to tell you about his job. Again, he has a good job. He likes his job. He makes decent money. He's not, you know, he doesn't work this business because we're broke. It's another stream of avenue, another income stream. We're all about having multiple income streams in our house. So 2020, January 4th, my husband's dad died kind of out of the blue. Like, we got a phone call that he had passed away. And so basically my husband with his job, he has 3 weeks of vacation time, and then he has a week of personal days, so 7 personal days. So 4 weeks to stretch over 12 months. And I'm learning that's kind of normal for corporate jobs. He's been there for almost 5 years, so I think next year he gets another week of vacation because he hits a certain milestone or something. But so we decided, you know, spur of the moment, we got up, we flew out to Maine, which is where we're in Indiana. His parents lived in Maine. Flew out to Maine, and we stayed there for 2.5 weeks. I think like 2 weeks and like 4 days, so a little over 2.5, which meant he used about 2.5 weeks of his vacation time. So it's January. And he's now already used majority of his vacation time, and he has 7 days of personal time left. Which is fine. That's adulting, right? Like, you get a job, you work, that takes precedence over everything, and then everything else comes second to your job. So, what we typically do with our vacation time is we take 1 week of vacation, usually in February, and we go hang out in Florida with some friends. Then he takes the other 2 vacation weeks and he saves them till the end of the year, just in case, because you don't ever know what's going to happen. Like, sometimes you're going to need that time. And we use them around the holidays, so he takes off during the holidays, and we just have a longer, like, Thanksgiving through Christmas time we just have a lot of fun. Then he takes his personal days, and those turn into his sick days, just in case he is too sick to go to work. Now, usually he just takes the payout at the end of the year, because I can tell you on one hand how many sick days my husband has taken in the last 24 months, minus the one story I'm about to tell you. So, fast forward a little bit, he has now used 2.5 weeks of his vacation time to go up to hang out with his mom and help her do some things, which, you know, I had no problem giving up our actual vacation to do that, because I feel like family first. Family before fun all the time. So we had 2 big events that we still needed to do. Technically 3, but we decided, you know what, he's just not going to go to Florida. I'll go by myself this year and hang out with my friends. Like, that's just what we ended up doing. But we still had, let's see. Oh, okay. Events. I use that term loosely. So when we went up to do his dad's funeral, we were informed that they couldn't bury the body, because I guess in Maine the ground is too hard during the winter. So you have to wait till it thaws out. I grew up in New Mexico. I don't know any of that. But we're like, okay, you know, that's fine. And then his brother was getting married in October. So we're like, okay, your 2.5 weeks of vacation are gone. So you now have a total of 12 days left. About. Like, I think he had 3 days of personal time, or 10 days. 3 days of vacation time and 7 days of personal time. We're like, we're just going to make sure you don't get sick the whole year. 2020, right? Like, don't get sick the whole year. And this is in the middle of January when we're making this discussion. So we can use 5 days when it's time to bury your dad, and we can go back up to Maine and spend that time with your family. And then we can use 5 days when your brother gets married in October. And then between the end of October and January, we just need to make sure nothing is planned. Like, nothing extra can come up or we are screwed. Because his job is one of those, you can't take time off unless you have time off. Period. It's not one that, like, oh, I'm just going to take unpaid time. Like, no, they gave you 4 weeks, you use it, and then you're done. And they're very vocal about that. Now, with the exception of someone dying, I think you get a 3-day bereavement, because we figured that in with the time that we took off. And then we did 2.5 weeks of vacation time. So, we had a game plan. We had a plan. We're not going to go over, no. We're not going to go over, the allotted amount of time that we have, because we obviously want you to keep your job, right? So, all fun and games until, oh, you know what, actually, so this is the time when we're making this game plan. He looked at me and he goes, you know what? I think I want to do this business with you full time, because like, we're so stressed out right now about time, and you're not, because I can work from anywhere. Like, I worked on the plane, and I can take off when I want to. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take several days in a row off, but then I will, like, make that time up before. Like I said, it's still a job. I still work. I'm not trying to sit here and say it's easy. It's just more flexible, I guess, is the best way to put it. So when he told me that, he's like, will you show me how to do this? Like, will you coach me how to do this? And that's very humbling for him, because my husband's not dumb. And he is smarter than me in a lot of areas. Marketing is not one of those areas. I definitely take the cake on that, but it's because I've learned that for the last 4.5 years. Like, that's been my job. I was like, yeah, I'll teach you. Like, I'll teach you. So my husband works 12-hour days, 5 and 6 days a week. He does not have time to add something on, but that's why he needs to add something on. So basically what he does is he works 15 minutes before work, 15 minutes at lunch, and 2 hours after work. And of course, we set out time for date days still, and he has dates with our daughter. Like, we're very balanced. We try very hard to keep everything balanced. But it took him about 2 weeks to learn the training system. So the system that I just told you guys, the free ad system on Facebook, I wanted to tell you this story all to say this. I taught him that system. It took him 2 weeks to learn it. Now, it's about an 8-hour training broken up into 5 parts. So it's very comprehensive. Like, that's what I'm saying. You can join this, no network whatsoever, and I can show you how to make money with this. Now, again, income disclosure statement, check down the comments. You get what you put into this, period. You got to work. But, so it took him about 2 weeks because his schedule is so crazy to learn how to do the actual system. Now, some people I have do it, knock it out in 1 day. Some it takes 2 to 3 weeks. It depends. If you're a stay-at-home mom, and right now it's summer, so you're not schooling and you're just kind of hanging out with your kids, but you've got downtime, you can knock out training a lot faster. If you're someone and you're trying to replace your full-time income, like, I'm not lying to you guys. You're going to have to work. So he learned the system in 2 weeks. started implementing it, y'all. The first 5 days he implemented the system, he signed 5 new customers. He did not know one of them. They were all complete strangers. And he didn't have to go message them either. Like, they came to him. So when he sat down and did that, I was like, ooh, I knew my system was good, but holy crap, like, is it good? So, and I get excited about that, y'all, because marketing is my jam. Like, I love it. So, I am going to tell you a fun little story, though, because with my husband starting to work came a whole new issue of setting boundaries. Because I'm almost done, so, you know, I hope this isn't boring to y'all, but when I sign anybody up to do this, I tell them right off, like, we have systems in place, we have videos that teach everything, we have one page on Facebook that has units to where, are you having trouble with this? This video explains. Are you having trouble with this? This video explains. And then we have one chat to where, like, if you need ingredients for something and you don't know how to find it on your website or whatever. Love the ad system, girl. I love the ad system too. Like, anyways, I just get really excited about this, y'all. I'm a freaking nerd. Sorry, my mouth gets so dry. And I've got to drink a lot of water with one of the health conditions that I have. So, like, I have to stay hydrated. So anyways, so we have systems. So when new people join, I am not glued to them 24/7. Now, I do pay more attention to them than the people that have been for a while. I say the first 30 to 60 days, you kind of have me as a one-on-one coach. That's why I only help 4 or 5 people a month, because I do spend a lot more time with them. But I also, like, if they ask me a question that was in the video I just sent them, but they didn't actually watch the video, I will tell them, like, hey, it's in that video, go watch it. Like, I teach them how to lead themselves. I'm not signing you up to, like, babysit you, I guess, put it that way. So with my husband, he would come tap me on the shoulder when I'm doing school and be like, hey, you know, what do I say to this person? He would, try to think of a few other times. Oh, I have my earbuds in cleaning, and he'd be like, hey, like, waving in front of my face, like, hey, what do you say to this person? And I would get so irritated, y'all. I'd be like, dude, I started doing this for time freedom, not to be glued to somebody 24 hours a day. Now, in the chat that I told you we have, it's a bunch of us leaders. So my team knows from 6 to 8 in the morning is business hours. Like, I set business hours on purpose. I have about 1 hour in the afternoon, and then I have 7 to 10 at night. Now, again, if you're brand new, you get a little bit more of my time because you trusted me to sign up with me. You're going to have some more questions while you're learning. But normal business hours are those. Now, my husband was new, but he also lived with me, so it added a whole other dynamic. I remember, literally, I'm in the bathroom. I'm sitting on the toilet, like, peeing, and my husband comes in with his little phone in his hand and goes, hey, what do you say to this? And I was like, boundaries. This is before we had the boundary discussion. This is what brought on the boundary discussion. He goes, what? He's like, you're my upline. I have a question. I was like, babe, nobody has access to me like that. Again, that's why I joined this, was to have freedom, not to be tethered to my phone. He goes, but I'm your husband. I have access to you 24/7. I was like, yeah, no, you don't. And so we laughed. I told him the answer, and then I had a sit-down discussion. I was like, listen, Linda, we got to talk. And I told him, I was like, I love helping you, but you have access to the same tools that all the new distributors do. Like, you've got to use them. I don't get to be your Q&A because you don't want to look up an answer, because they're all pretty easily laid out for everybody. I said, having said that, yes, you get a little more attention than everyone else because you're my husband, and I love you more than anyone else on the team because I'm married to you. But all that to say, it just kind of made me laugh because I've heard people say, oh, I didn't want to do that. I'm glued to my phone 24/7. You're not if you do it right. That's why we set up systems, but you have to be a very strong leader, and that's something I learned, you guys. 4.5 years taught me this. I sucked at this in the beginning. Like, my team knows the business doesn't consume me because I don't let it. I have plenty of other priorities, this being one of them. What's up, kid?
Can you go to Michigan City Beach someday again?
Yeah, we're going to Michigan City on Saturday. She comes in to ask me if we can go to the beach one day. Yes, we have a team beach day set up for Saturday. All that to say, again, guys, I go off in rabbit trails. I tell stories. Sorry, it's entertaining. Whatever. But all that to say, I am excited for him to do it full time. It creates a whole, like, we're excited to be a full-time family for sure. It's something that I didn't even know was possible until getting into this, and just seeing like how much time we can give to our kid it's just amazing. But it's not happening overnight because he works 12 hours a day. It's just not happening overnight, and he is working like a dang beast to make it happen. It probably will be a solid year. My thing is, once we have 6 months worth of living expenses in the bank, that he can do it full time. His thing is, he wants to have $100,000 in the bank, which is for us way more than 6 months of living expenses. We live under our means on purpose because we don't ever want to come to the point where we have a bad few months or the economy crashes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever that screws us. Oh, I forgot the whole point of this. So he had those, 10 days left? Well, then Corona hit. My husband doesn't ever get sick. Guess who got sick? So he didn't get Corona, but his job was set up, if you have any, like, if you're sick at all, like, even if you come to work, they'll send you home. Did anyone else's job do that? Like, just extra cautious, which I understand why. But they made you use your vacation days. He got sick and had to use 5 of his 10 that he had left. So then we had 5 days left. Y'all, it's March. Okay, we have what? I can't count. 8 months? 8 months. It's March, and we have 5 days left. So then, beginning of this month? End of May, I guess. We get a call saying they're going to bury your dad on this date. Or no, just kidding. It was the middle of June. Bury your dad on this date. Yeah, we had 5 days left. We couldn't use them because we still had a wedding to go to in October. So we spent $1,000, like plane tickets, rental car, all that stuff. $1,000 to fly out for 2 days and come back. My husband used one of his vacation days. He literally got off work on Thursday. We drove to the airport, flew out Thursday night, spent Friday and Saturday with his family, flew back on Sunday morning. Now, the money is not a huge deal to us. Again, we work on purpose to be able to spend a little extra money and things like that. The irritating thing was, it wouldn't have cost us any more because we stayed with family. We always do. We have family up there. It would not have cost us maybe $100 more to spend an extra 3 or 4 days if we would have had the time freedom. But we didn't because he had to work. He didn't have the time. So it was a little irritating. And that's what really solidified him, was like, I'm going to bust butt. And within a year, I'm not working anymore. So again, I say that to tell you, it's going to take an incredible work ethic if you work full time. And I'm talking like 60, 70 hours a week, not 40. 40, yes, 40 is full time, but like you have a lot of hours if you only work 40 hours a week. Like you have a lot of hours left. So, but if you're working 60, 70 hours a week and you want to replace your income, it's going to take a lot of work ethic. And I will tell you, very few people have the work ethic that my husband and I have. And that's not to brag. My husband comes from a family that was very well off for a long time when they were kids. But it's because his parents worked their own business, like they worked their butt off. So he grew up and he was taught how to work. I come from a family that relied on welfare and just had a lot of bad things happen over and over. So we were that family that we had literally nothing. Never could pay our bills, always behind, never had cars that worked. So when I started college, so I dropped out of school in 8th grade, got a job to help pay my mom's bills. Well, our bills, not my mom's. I lived there, right? Like, they're my bills. But as a kid, most kids don't have to do that. In New Mexico, you can get a job at 14 if you have a worker's permit. So back then, I don't know if you can now. So that's what I did. Then at 16, I went and got my GED, and I went off to Indiana to go to college. But because I was kind of dumb in certain areas, because I didn't finish past 7th grade, like beginning of 8th grade is when I dropped out. And I homeschooled, but just enough to keep my mom's welfare. And again, not a slam on her. Hindsight's 20/20, and I think she would tell you that now too. But we were between a rock and a hard place, and that's just the hand that life dealt me. So I made the best of it. But when I got to college, I was so far behind in certain things. And then I had no money going into it. No family was sending me money. And I graduated debt-free, guys. Now, our college wasn't expensive. It was, I want to say I paid $1,200 a month. So, and that was only for 9 months. So, yeah, that's like $10,800. And then I also took private voice lessons, which was another like $100 a month or so. So, add on about $1,000 more. But, so it's not a lot of money thinking about it now, but as a 16-year-old kid starting college, that's a lot of money. And the job that they provided, because I went to a Christian college, you weren't allowed to work anywhere except for one certain place if you were a girl, didn't make enough to actually pay that. So I had to overcompensate with learning how to have a massive work ethic. Like, I'm not even kidding you, at one point, towards the end, well, my last semester, I guess, I was student teaching. I was running a ministry. Like, I was one of the head people in the ministry, the college ministry that we had. So every weekend I would go to Chicago and I'd volunteer with like at-risk youth. And then I worked full-time, 40 hours a week. And then on top of that, I was preparing for my music final. So that was about 10 hours a week that I was practicing between piano and vocal. And then I still didn't have the money to pay all of my school bill. So I was tutoring on the side. I was giving piano lessons on the side, which wasn't really allowed because the college offered them, and they played way better than I did at college. I was never great at piano, but enough to give the basic to where kids didn't have to pay for basic piano lessons. And then I was writing other people's papers, which definitely was not ethical or allowed. Like, I would have been expelled for cheating at that point, but I never got caught, thankfully, because 10 years later, I have a diploma, so I'm just going to stick with that. But I'm not kidding you when I say every 15 minutes of my time was scheduled out. 15 minutes, y'all. I would schedule it out weeks at a time. 15-minute increments, because I was that dedicated to getting it done. So I'll tell you, the first year of this business, guess what I reverted back to? That work ethic. Because I was only working like 50, 60 hours a week with certain parts of that job, and it fluctuated. But I had a new baby. And yeah, Savannah does remember my last year. Savannah can vouch for that. She went to college with me. My roommates could vouch for it even better than her, because they swear up and down that I just didn't sleep some weeks. I did. I slept. That was one that was a priority to me because I had some health issues. But I was very specific with my time. Excuse me. So all that to say, again, y'all, I put in the work. Okay, it took me an entire year of doing this with my job to be able to do this full time. So I think that is... Yeah, I think that's kind of, if you have a question, drop it in the comments. But the last thing I want to say is, it doesn't matter how long someone has been in this. I joined this company when it was 10 years old, guys. Established for 10 years. I make more than some of the people who got in before me. I have people that have gotten in 2 years after me that they're making more than me because they put more work into it. We all have certain goals. We all have... She was a beast. I did sleep. I promise you I did. You just didn't see it because you didn't live with me. But anyways, we all have certain goals. Like, you get what you put out of it. You get out what you put in. It's as simple as that. We have the systems. We have everything in place, but you've got to be the one willing to put the work in. So if you would like an interview, reach out. I'd love to help you start this. And again, today's the best day to do it, for the simple fact that I just opened up 5 coaching spots because that's the time I have. And then you'll have that extra little grace period for those leadership bonuses. But if you have no interest in this, and you've been sharing my videos, and you have been just commenting and showing love, like, I just want to say thank you. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. Because so many of you send me referrals every single month that literally that's what puts the food on my family's table. So I just want to say thank you, because this may not be for you, and that's 1,000% fine. This is not for everybody. If everyone was doing online marketing, like, where would I get my hair bleached? Where would I get my hair cut? What retailer would I walk in and buy my clothes? Because I don't do online shopping for clothes. I need to try them on and feel them and see how they fit me. Like, where would I get my shoes? You know, where would we go to the grocery store and buy our groceries? Who's going to, be the one that the butcher and put the, clearly don't know how this works. I'm like, butcher and put the cow in the bag, whatever. You don't know what I'm saying. Like, no one's going to do that if everyone's trying to do this. So, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's okay. If it is for you, reach out. Let me get you an interview. And we'll kind of go from there. So, I hope you have, not right now. I hope you have an amazing Wednesday. Thank you guys all for tuning in. And I will talk to you guys later.